The Anaheim Ducks have traded John Gibson to the Detroit Red Wings for Petr Mrázek, a 2027 second round pick, and a 2026 fourth round pick. So a goalie sort of trade off there, and John Gibson is finally out of the Anaheim Ducks. And Detroit, well, they make a trade for probably their 15th goaltender in the last, what, 2-3 years, Jaden? They seem to enjoy acquiring goaltenders. I wonder if this one will finally pan out for.
Yeah, they keep trying to get, I think, second string goalies and then hoping they turn into first string goalies. And it hasn't kind of panned out that way. Granted, the team in front of them haven't been the best during those times as well.
Hmm.
At some of those stages. But yeah, so Gibson's finally gone. No more trade rumors, at least probably for another year, at a minimum. So don't have to worry about that anymore. Mrázek. So let's talk about winners and losers. It's probably sort of even. Anaheim don't have to retain any on Gibson, so because of Mrazek's 4.25 contract, they free up 2.15, which can help them get some of their signings done. They got plenty of cap space, probably one of the most capped space teams in the league, though they have goalies like Dostal and stuff to sign. So they also get a second and a fourth for him for a team that was for a player that you expected to hold cap and they didn't have to. Seems good. They get Mrázek in return. It depends what Mrázek they get. He's either godlike and he's really good, or he doesn't show up. And I think depending on how Anaheim turns out, like they're looking like they're becoming a better and better team with all the moves they've been doing and the draft picks they've recently done. I think the team in front of him should be good, but it really depends on what Mrázek they get. And Detroit, they get Gibson for 2 years. Obviously, Mrazek's only got this year, so short-term contracts as well for both teams. So low risk.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously for the Anaheim side, the Maverick sort of return is basically just to give them that backup goaltender for Dostal.
Mm.
And I think it really comes down to how much Matt Mesri. Fuck, how do I
Mrazek.
can't pronounce
Just call him
Mrazek.
Peter. Peter.
Yeah, Peter. I know, right? Every time I try to Mazrick, um, it depends on how much he has to play. I feel like if he can sort of be kept under that 30 game mark, I think he'll be a really good backup goaltender for them. It's just going to be a question mark of how much can Doe still play. He played 54 games last year, so I feel like if he does that sort of same workload, I feel like Mazrick will be, he'll be really good as a backup tender. And obviously that $4 million, you don't want to be paying your backup that going forward, but it is just for this year. Like you said, Anaheim have a heap of cap space. Dostal won't take too much. I couldn't imagine. I don't think we're going to see like some $8 million contract for Dostal. So I don't think they're going to be spending overly that much on their two goaltenders, but it does give them a nice little tandem. And yeah, I reckon that the return of obviously the second and fourth is huge for them going forward as well. And yeah, look, Anaheim are gearing up to be some sort of dynasty going forward, that's for sure. But as for Detroit, I mean, they've really needed a good goaltender. They really, really want to show that they're they're not just going to be that same team that sniffs around that wild card spot and then falls away towards the back end of the season. And obviously Gibson has put up some stupidly good numbers over his career on some pretty poor Anaheim teams as well. So last year, I mean, in 29 games, puts up a 912 save percentage and only 2.77 goals against. So I mean, if he can keep that up as a number one goaltender, the Detroit Red Wings might just, and their fans might just get what they've been hoping for so long, and that's, a wild card berth and back in the playoffs for the first time in a long time.
Yeah. Well, you hit the nail on the head. Like Gibson, He's pretty much been over 900 save percentage his whole career, besides not this year included, the last 2 years, and we can probably say that they were pretty rubbish Anaheim teams that were in front of him. Though some people, they say Otto still came in and he wasn't as bad, but it still plays a huge factor. So obviously he's going to have a better team in front of him at Detroit. We'll have to see if that all works out. He gets to be the number one guy. Mrázek back up duties now. The thing I do want to mention that I was just highlighting while you're talking is both Dostal and Mrázek are Czechs, so they have that uniqueness with them as well, and that
Yeah.
might create some bonding. And who knows, they could probably both play for the primary and backup for the Czech team, being how good they are. I don't know if there's any other Czechs.
Goalies?
Yeah,
No, I'm
goalies
not
that
aware of
at that
any
at
others.
this at that level. Can't think of one at the top of my head anyway right now. But yeah, so that can help Dostal's development as well. So I think that is probably unsung in regards to this trade as well.
Yeah, no, I think it's a trade that should work well for both. It gets Gibson out of Anaheim. He doesn't. I don't think he wanted to necessarily leave Anaheim, especially with the direction they're going. Like you look at it and go, well, Anaheim's going to be a force over the next few years, but Gibson's 31,
Oh,
and
he's win now mode, really.
well, he's probably got 3-4 years left of being a starter, and he's not Anaheim starter, especially with Dostal coming through. Like, and you don't want to take away from the development of your young lad to sort of keep an aging vet. So I think it's a trade that works so well, not just for the teams, but also for the players as well. So Mazurek is he's a backup goalie. We know that. He knows that. Everyone, and I'm sure he was better and a starter, but it is what it is. He goes to a team. He's going to be a goalie that can give you 25, 30 games. A perfect backup for Dostal. And then Gibson gets to go and be that true starter and, put up a 50-game season and not have to worry about sort of being a backup goalie and only playing 25 games. And, in the sort of, twilight or prime of his sort of career thing, 31 for a goaltender, like that's right in your prime. Like you're geared
Mm.
up for the next 3-4 years to sort of be at the top of your numbers, over a 900 save percentage. So yeah, I like this for both teams.
Yeah,
The draft picks aren't anything spectacular. Like for Detroit,
and
Detroit in
they're very far.
2027
Yeah,
should
they're
be
very far in the future as well.
exactly like you'd hope for Detroit's sake that they are in playoffs by 2027, because if they're not, goodbye Eisman, goodbye. Like the city's gonna like go on riots if they're not back in the playoffs by 2027.
Yeah.
They've waited long enough, so
Nah, all in all, fair trade. You can argue maybe the second round, it should have been the third round or something like that, but it's, years away now. And look, so fair trade, all in all, everybody wins. The only other thing I would just mention is that this means two less goalies on the goalie carousel in the market for any teams that are looking to improve. So the goalie market pricing should be probably through the roof compared to what it was before this. So teams like maybe Edmonton or something that may have looked to have improved, it gets a
it's
little
gonna
bit
say,
harder.
yeah, one less goalie for Edmonton to improve their stocks on, but
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, whether they want to or not, but it's still one less. So yeah,
for sure.
we'll leave it there. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below on what you think of this trade, who wins, who loses, and until next time, we'll catch you guys.
Gotcha.